everyone, welcome to Mission to Inspire. My name is Shola, and I'm joined here today by Jackie Grace. Hi, Jackie.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much, Shola, for having me on. I'm so excited.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you on. Wow. By the look of the window over there, it's really bright. Is it sunny?
Yes, it is. It is sunny here. And yeah, I have that shade down because it is definitely
Great. Oh my, great. Well, Jackie, she's a powerhouse speaker, a best-selling co-author, and she's also the CEO with a profound impact in a soulful business strategy and purpose-driven coaching career. So I'll leave it at that, Jackie. I would want you to chip in and tell us more about you. We would like to know you more.
Yes. So I have two children. They're both in college, due to graduate in 26. So that'll be a great thing. I own a business with my husband, a transportation company, and called Agape Travel and Tours. And we work with the public and private sectors. We do a lot of military government work, schools and universities. And during COVID, our business pretty much shut down. No one wanted to get on charter buses or
Yes.
anything that was in a closed
Mm.
vehicle. And that was when I literally sat under a tree for 2 days and in silence. And God gave me Launching Deeper. And I started Launching Deeper Enterprises, which is a coaching and business strategy company.
Wow. 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 God is great, isn't he?
Oh my goodness, he is. He is.
Wow. So he answered your prayers within 2 days of sitting down in silence.
Yeah, it originally I went to my pastor,
Yeah.
and because I knew that God was telling me something,
Mhm.
and not sure whether all viewers will can resonate with that, but I did know that because so many doors were closing.
Yeah.
So I knew that there was something I was supposed to hear. I
Mhm.
couldn't hear it, and my pastor told me to go in silence, and that's what he heard God instruct, and I was obedient, and I did it, and in 2 days he answered.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh
Sometimes God will answer in ways that you don't, I think I was looking for, Lord, help me get out of this financial bind.
my.
Help
Mhm.
me, send me somebody that's gonna, when God really stepped to me and said, everything that you need to get through this season is already in your hands. It's already within you. And that changed my life. It literally changed my life.
Right. Wow. Wow. That is interesting. That is interesting. So did you then have to go back to before you launched the career, did you have to study or how did you then start the launch?
Yeah. So as far as the transportation business,
Mhm.
we just slowly started opening back up. Once everybody started traveling again, we started picking up with that. But then, God really downloaded different ways of doing business, and so just we went into different markets that we hadn't been into: transportation management, event management.
Yeah.
So he just really started opening those doors that I hadn't looked at.
Wow.
And I became a certified executive coach. and just started to work with people and help people that often feel that they know that there's more that they're supposed to do. They know that, often we feel a tugging for more, but we don't really know what that more is, or how to, what we should do. And that is really what I started doing with that, is just helping people look at their passions, their gifts, their knowledge. And
wow.
yeah.
Wow, that is interesting. So, as a successful business strategist and purpose coach, you are known for your faith-driven approach, which is exactly what we're talking about at the moment.
Yeah.
So, you've already told us how your business actually, the journey, how it evolved together. But what led you to prioritize purpose in your work? Because you actually prioritize purpose, because from our little discussion I can see you actually went in silence to discuss with God.
Yes, yes.
What is your purpose? What's the next thing to do?
Oh, yeah. Well, it was so crazy because I didn't see this other part of me with helping. We did a lot in the community and things like that, but I did not see that God had purposed me to help others in the very things that I struggled with myself, that I was called to do that. And that whole version of me, I did not even know existed. And yeah, so just really understanding that it was more than building a business. It was more than, providing a legacy for my children, but it was really about helping others see their God-given purpose. And I had no idea that was my calling. That was what I was purposed to do. And yeah, so
Wow, God works in mysterious ways outside.
absolutely. Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, growing up for you in an entrepreneurial family, what early lessons shaped your understanding of business?
Oh man, so yes, I grew up the youngest of nine, and
Nine.
nine. It was nine of us and one. Well, by the time I was born, some of my older siblings had already went off to school and gotten married and all of that. But my parents had an upholstery business that was right, like directly in the back of our house. And my father had converted his garage to the business. And I grew up just watching that every single day of, until I went away to school. And I watched them do business. And that love for entrepreneurship is, just watching it and watching my parents just be able to create an income, because my father worked a full-time job and he did the upholstery business full-time. And back then it was difficult, with 9 kids, but I saw what entrepreneurship could afford a person and their family. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So how did those experiences influence the creation of Agape Travel and Tours and launch
Well, so
deeper enterprise?
yeah, so when I got married, my husband, who was retired, well, not retired military, but he was a veteran, and he worked in transportation and logistics when he was in the Army. And so we got married like a year, and he was driving like a Anheuser-Busch, the big beer trucks and stuff like that. And he came home one day and he was like, I want to start a bus company. And at first I was really like, really? I never saw us, I never imagined that business. But because I grew up knowing that that if you work hard, if you persevere, then you can take anything and grow it into something great. And so I told him, I said, I'm going to help you in any way I can. So that's how the transportation business started. And I was still working a full-time job. And when it got to the point where I was bringing in more money doing contracts than I was making working out, I told my husband, sorry, my dog is in the back. I told my husband that, okay, it's time for me to start working full time and let's see what we can do with this.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Oh my God. Oh my,
yes.
wow. And Deeper Enterprise, is that the coaching business?
Yes. So, yep, the Launching Deeper Enterprises that started, like I was saying, during
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
And again, not really knowing, and that's the thing I let people know. You don't, if you read in Habakkuk, it doesn't say write the vision and make it perfect. It says make it plain. And what I realized is that if I just walked, if I just did what I heard God say, that it was really up to him to do whatever it was doing. Because like I said, I didn't know about the coaching, I didn't know about business consulting, I didn't know anything about that, but I just kept walking and I kept learning and saying, what do I need to do? And opportunities would open for me to get in various programs that would help me do this at a different level. So
Wow. Wow.
yeah,
Wow. Wow.
yeah.
During COVID, though, you had a transformational spiritual experience.
Yeah.
Can you share that with us?
Yeah. That was that moment under that tree. And it was a true God encounter. I
Wow.
cannot say it was anything other than that. I had never thought about helping other people use their knowledge and their gifts and talents. I'd never thought about being a coach, a life coach, a business coach. None of that was ever like anywhere that I saw. And I would literally was under the tree. My bishop or pastor, he said, I want you to ask, when you go in silence, I want you to ask two questions. The first question is, what is my purpose? And the second question is, what is the strategy? And I sat there at night. I come in the house. The next day, I sat there and I had a notebook. And when I say from my logo that I currently have for Launching Deeper, it was like God just downloaded. And it was pages after pages of what I was supposed to do. And it was a clear voice that said, it's you worked on building a business. Now it's time to help others build what I've put. And I heard that so clearly about what's in your hands, and it goes back to the parable of the talents, it was so clear because for those who are familiar or not familiar with the parable of the talents in Matthew, it talks about a servant given one talent, one given two, and the other given four, or I'm sorry, five. And they all doubled it except the one with the one. And he showed me that we were so much like the one with the one talent, right? we hold on to stuff. Oh no, I'm just doing this little thing. I'm not trying to grow it. I'm just, and God is like, clear. If I've given you something, I expect a return on it. It is not yours. It's a gift I gave you. So I expect a return on it. So
Wow.
yeah.
That is powerful,
Yeah.
actually, because so many of us, we learn to do one thing and we think
Yeah.
that thing is profitable and we just want to continue in our comfort zone.
Oh my gosh. It's so, and you know what I tell people is like the parable. The
Mm,
more you do with it, the more he'll give it to you. You know, I'll have some people ask me sometimes, wow, it's like you're walking in blessing after blessing. And I let people know, well, the key that I believe God gave me was that if you use what I've given you, even if it's small, even if you're speaking to one person, even if you have one follower,
yes.
be committed to that.
Mm,
Do what you honor that.
mhm,
And the more you honor that, I'll
mhm,
put more in your hands.
yes.
But what we do sometimes is we don't honor that, we despise that,
Mhm,
or
mhm.
we compare ourselves. You know, Shola has a podcast. I can't get a podcast. So while we're, you know what I'm saying? That's how people do. They instead of working with what we have been given, we
Yes,
often look at others, and that's what stops us.
that's true. That's true. We
Yeah.
compare ourselves with others. Oh my
Oh,
God. Yeah. Thank
yeah.
you so much, Ogi. Wow, thank you. As a purpose coach, you encourage people to discern the voice of God in their lives.
Yeah.
How do you guide individuals in finding that connection? And is it just Christians that you work with, or you work with us, a lot of other people?
Yes, I work with all people, believer, you know, and usually, you know, we I do a questionnaire.
Mhm.
I can sort of tell by some of the answers whether they're faith leaning. I still, because when I look at people that have succeeded in life in certain ways,
Mhm.
they're using biblical principles, whether they admit it or not. So, you know, I'm still able to use the principles of the Bible, and some people don't even know it, you know. but but yeah, just getting people to be clear, to really look at where they are, where they want to go, and that thing, like finding out what is it you would do if you weren't, if money wasn't a factor.
Mhm.
What is that thing that you would just do all the time? And yeah, that's, I try to get them to that, to that
Point.
place where they start to really look beyond money and beyond all the other things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, what practical steps can people take then, to start their own living purpose?
Oh yeah. And it's not because I'm a coach,
Mhm.
but because I do know, I have two coaches, you know, and I do know the power of having a coach. I've seen it work in my own life, even my pastor as a mentor, you know, having a mentor and a coach. I tell people, you know, sometimes we're like, oh, I can't afford it. I look at it like you can't afford not to, because just someone helping you think through things, getting out of your head, dealing with those limiting beliefs, you know, things that will, that we do subconsciously that we don't even realize that we're doing, that
Mm,
actually stops us from making a great choice for our lives.
yeah.
Yeah, so just telling people, the first thing I would say is to get a coach and a mentor, you know, and but really also is so important to get quiet, to meditate, to ask God that question, those two questions. What's my purpose and what's the strategy? So I like to lead people into doing that.
Right. Wow. Wow. You know, that's one thing that most people don't do, to be quiet and try to listen. I don't think a lot of people do that. There's always one chaos or the other. If they are quiet, then they're on their phone.
Right. You are absolutely right. When I tell people to go silent, I mean, it goes against everything we're taught with all the dings of the phone and the constant going. There are a lot of people that can't drive in a car without music. You know, the idea of silence just is so uncomfortable to most people.
Mm.
I'm telling you, there isn't one person that I said, "Hey, silence is a big part of this thing." 99% they were like, "Oh, I don't want to do that." Or they'll say it, but they never do it. And I let people know that I spent 2 days under the tree, just 2 days out of 365 days of the year, and it changed my life forever. So, I tell people you don't have to spend 2 days in silence, but if 2 days, I saw 2 days literally change my life, change my family,
Mm.
change my marriage. It's like, that's why it's a part of my, what I call my spiritual, like my routine, my regular, my sacred
Mm.
routine is that I have to spend time in silence because, and I encourage people to at least an hour out of your week, because you're so busy getting everybody else's voice, getting your voice, your own head, that you don't, when do you have time to really hear direction?
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Yeah, yeah,
That's very true. Oh my goodness.
yeah,
Wow. You built a successful business and non-profit create vision.
yes.
What is that about?
So Create Vision came about with the transportation company.
Ah,
So part of what we do is we do a lot of student tours,
right.
and 9 times out of 10, really 100 out of 100 times,
Mhm.
they are very affluent people that their children go on these 7, 10 day tours. And I mean, they're educational tours. They're going to New York and Statue of Liberty, and they're learning about the country and the rights and all those things of the people. They are learning that stuff because they can afford to. And then I saw the disenfranchised, a lot of our community in the Black and brown community, barely scraping up enough money to go to like a local, tour somewhere that was right there in their city.
Mm.
And I realized that without vision, people perish. And if we don't do something to try to help young people get out beyond their community, beyond their everyday norms, then they don't know all the things that the world offers. They think that this is right here, this is what I see, this is what I can do. They have no idea that there's a world out there that offers so many opportunities. So we started Create Vision to help um, take care of the funding for those kids. So they still were paying just a small amount, but we could then afford them the opportunity to go on these larger tours. And
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow. What advice would you offer to entrepreneurs and leaders pursuing their own dreams without sacrificing personal relationships and well-being?
Yeah, the biggest thing that I would say is time flies, first of all. I mean, and before you know it, 5 years have gone by and 10 years have gone by. So I tell people, do it. It doesn't have to be on a big scale, but start just doing it and pursuing that thing that you feel like is in your heart. Um, Start preparing, because often I believe when we get that unction, oh, I think think I'm going to start my own business. You
Mm.
know, it may be 5 years before you actually start it. But when you start to have those feelings, start preparing,
Mm.
start saving, you know, so many things that I did wrong. Me and my husband, I said we could write a book on the top 10 things to do to lose your business, and and I could, you know, and we did all 10 of them. And I know it was only the grace of God. So that's why I'm very passionate about helping entrepreneurs, because I know I the things that go through people's head, those are the things that went through my head, the struggles that people often have. I had those similar struggles with limiting beliefs. You know, oh, that's too big. I can't go after that. You know, just so many things that we, you know, are within our own mind. So
Yeah.
I would definitely just say, I mean, there's so many things, but just start preparing, learning, getting competent in, you know, when I started coaching people, I had a certification, but I didn't just want to stop at that. I really wanted to help people to the highest level that I could help them.
Yeah.
So I started working on certification for emotional intelligence and trauma. And because what I realized is that most of the things that we deal with as entrepreneurs, as leaders, are here.
Mm.
It, you know, it's not, the money's not there, because the money cannot be there. But if you in your mind you feel like I can't do this because I don't have the money,
Yeah.
then those are the things that I like to uncover, like, you know.
That's
Yeah, but to show people, but you know, getting back to that question, yeah, those are things that I would encourage people to do.
right. Right. Thank you so much. For people that might want to contact you, how can they?
So they can contact me on Instagram under Jackie B. Grice. And
Okay.
that's, you know, rice with the G on it. And so, or, you know, that's the main page now. I do have a page called Launching Deeper, and it's just Launching Deeper. And you see the blue LD, that's more of a motivational um, page. And
Yeah.
then my transportation company
Yeah.
is Agape,
Mm.
AGAPE
Yeah.
Travel and Tours.
Mhm.
And then on Facebook, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much.
Oh my
I know
gosh,
that
thank you.
I know you're a co-author as well. Where can we buy your book and what's the title?
So if you go to launchingdeeper.com,
Yeah.
the book is on the website and you can buy that. It's called Don't Curse Your Crises. And
Mm.
that was a book collaboration I did with, I think it was about 14 women. And so you can go on the website. I'd love for people to join our mailing list and go on the website, and that you would just go on launchingdeeper.com and fill out the little interest form on there.
Thank you so much for coming on our show today. Any inspirational advice for people out there?
You know, just keep moving. Understand that things are going to happen. I mean, just today, my office manager had a pancreatic attack,
Oh my
right? So it just threw the whole office in a tailspin. I was scrambling because you know, wanted to be here.
God.
Things, life is going to, like they say, life, but quantum leaps are made for those people that push through the hard times.
Yeah.
You don't make progress when everything is going good, because that's normal.
Right.
Husband's good, kids are acting right,
Mhm.
money in the bank. Oh yeah, I can do it.
Mhm.
Quantum leaps are made for those that can push through. when things are going not the way we actually plan for it to go. So I just want to encourage people to push through in the hard times. If you do that, you can make it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that word of advice.
Man, thank you. I'm so thankful. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to be on your podcast. I'm very grateful for that.
Thank you so much for joining us today. And until next time, everyone, it's goodbye from myself and Jackie. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Like, follow, comment. Until next time. Goodbye.